Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight, my friends, and I will be playing Delta Green. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is Music from a Darkened Room. It was written by Dennis Detweiler, and it's available from the Drive-Thru RPG or Arc Dream Publishing. I'm the game master for this scenario, and this is episode 1. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. The date is May 1st, 2005. It's about 7 a.m. when you get a call from a number that you recognize as one belonging to Delta Green. You pick up the phone and hear a strange dial tone. Anyone else would simply hang up, but you immediately type in your 5-digit PIN number and the sound stops. A modulated voice says,
"Congratulations, you have won a night at the opera. Your tickets will be available at the Days Inn on West Schiller Avenue in room 45B. The curtain goes up at 8 p.m. You won't want to miss it."
Click. You come up with some excuse to tell your family and coworkers. You travel, making sure that you don't make any purchases with credit cards or do anything that leaves a trail. You arrive in the parking lot of the Days Inn at roughly 7:50 p.m. and head to room 45B. You knock 3 times. The door opens and you step inside. There are 4 other people in the room. Everyone looks completely average and nondescript. To the outside world, you are nobodies, but you know that everyone present is a Delta Green agent. They are all going to have code names and fake identities. All you need to know is what they can do. Might as well introduce yourselves before the package arrives.
Well, I'll get started here. I'm Agent East, forensics specialist.
Good evening, all. I'm Mark. I'll be playing Agent Jockey, also known alias as John Dory, one of my many nicknames I'm identified as. I'm tall, broad-shouldered, and all-around tough guy, but that doesn't mean I don't have feelings. I know a thing or two about getting things working, electronics, mechanisms, a little bit of trauma training on the side, should it ever come to it. This isn't my first tango with the unknown, and I just hope it won't be my last.
I'm Agent Fox. Psychological profiling is kind of probably what I'm good at. I know about ins and outs of law enforcement, things like that. So I've got my ways.
I'm Agent Hades, reconnaissance and intelligence specialist, and have pretty good knowledge of the underground secrets.
I'm Agent Lake. I'm a bit of a smooth operator. I'm a girl who knows my way around talking to people and getting my way into places. And I'm also good with nature and animals if for some reason it comes up.
All right. So you guys chit-chat a little bit before 8 o'clock. At exactly 8 o'clock, you can hear outside a truck pull up. The side of the truck opens, somebody steps out, and you get the distinct impression they've left something at your door. They then get back in their truck and they leave. What would you like to do?
Go see what it is, I guess.
Okay. You open up the door, and this is what you see.
Huh. I like the name. Let's get it inside.
All right. You take it inside. What would you like to do?
Like, what do you have there?
Looks like a package for us. It's for Iago D. Green.
Well, let's maybe keep our voices down a little bit. This is a hotel with pretty thin walls. I'll pull out a knife to open the box.
Okay. You open up the box, and there are 3 things. There is a green cell phone old style. There is a folded up piece of paper on green paper, and there is an old newspaper clipping, or rather a recent newspaper clipping.
Directive. Okay, we'll start with the cell phone. We have a contact for Elizabeth Tucker, Dr. Emil Yarrow, and Meadowbrook. Store it. Okay, directive from ACEL, Operation Iago. You are to investigate the suicide of Delta Green agent Garrett, Arthur Donnelly, last Delta Green contact, 2003. You may have been working outside of protocol. Focus some attention on 1206 Spooner Avenue, Meadowbrooks, Illinois. The history of the house may offer some insight into the agent's break with communication. This house has been brought to the attention of ACEL previously, but was classified to be statistically insignificant. However, it is suggested that some caution should be employed while investigating the Spooner house itself, and may have exhibited some influence over Agent Garrett, even though he was a highly experienced agent. Mission instructions. 1. Determine the circumstances surrounding the death of Agent Garrett. 2. Determine if the Spooner house represents any threat to the public. 3. Once these 2 protocols are complete, contact ACEL for further instructions. Friendlies. Locals who have been used by Delta Green as assistants. Both are aware of Delta Green, but believe it is a legal secret government agency. Use discretion. Dr. Emil Yarrow, abnormal psychology / parapsychologist, provided information on hotel and entity for Op. Carp 1999. Elizabeth Tucker, Antiques Tracker Special Acquisitions, greatly assisted in locating stolen amulet for Op. Anubis 2002. Last known local Greenbox location, GB-711, Meadowbrook Store It. We are currently trying to locate the unit number. This box has been off the grid for 7 years, contents unknown.
There was also a newspaper clipping from a recent newspaper.
FBI agent suicide discovered April 17th from Meadowbrook, Illinois. Special Agent Arthur Donnelly of the FBI had been acting erratically in the months leading up to his suicide. His marriage of 25 years fell apart earlier this year, but interviews with family and friends said that he had been steadily declining over the last few years. A once happy man, he had raised 2 daughters, both of whom currently attend Loyola University. It is not clear what caused his depression, and his ex-wife said that he refused to seek counseling. Meadowbrook coroner Elmer Perkins estimated the suicide occurred on April 12th. His ex-wife had been expecting a visit from him, but was unable to locate him. She informed the police, who on April 15th identified his car outside a home on Spooner Street. The police found the door open and, upon searching the house, discovered Agent Donnelly in the master bedroom, the victim of an apparent suicide. The details of the suicide are being kept private by law enforcement officials, but they have stated there is no indication of foul play. Wow.
And now the ball is in your court. What you want to do?
Well, it seems like
it is 8 o'clock at night, or a little past 8. If you notice that the date was just a couple of weeks ago, the suicide.
Oh, we got a task on our hand, gentlemen.
Was it April the 15th? Was it?
That was when the body was discovered. Coroner says it was probably the 12th when he committed suicide.
And how far
And
are
it
we
is now
from...
it is now May 1st. You are probably about a 45-minute drive from Meadowbrook. You're in Chicago right now. And that's with traffic. So it's not really on the map. It's not that far, but traffic.
Well, before we kind of go to the house itself, I am curious what exactly local law enforcement doesn't want to reveal to reporters about the nature of his death. So, Lake, I might need to use you right off the bat. Try to find out
You think so?
exactly what.
Well, let me actually interject something. Some of you may or may not have been involved in the FBI, in which case you might have heard about this. You didn't know the person, but you hear that somebody in the FBI commits suicide.
Well, if I was such a person,
And if I was such a
what
person,
would I know?
yeah, what would
What
I
have
know if I
heard?
was such a person?
As someone who may or may not be involved in forensics with the FBI, what have
Yeah,
I
someone who
may have
may or may
heard
not.
rumors of?
May or may not be in criminal psychology.
You would have previously had absolutely no reason to even look into this because you don't know the person. But
Alright, so yeah, law enforcement would definitely be a good starting point. I think a few of us might be able to be better suited for speaking to them. I think the house we should leave till after we at least learn a bit more about the actual case at hand.
Mm-hmm.
What actually happened.
I am really interested to see what's in the box at the storage facility. Seems strange that they don't know what's been there for 7 years.
Well, I don't know how new you are to this this outfit, son, but that's a fairly common occurrence.
they don't
Oh,
even know which
well,
box it is.
That
They
I was
just
about to
know there's
say.
one there.
Yeah. We have to find out which number it is.
We couldn't have
Well, I can figure that out just fine. It's just if that was the local one and they don't know even which one it is, perhaps they said he might have gone rogue, so maybe he was hiding something there that might be of use.
Oh, the most telling thing is if we can connect something that may have been missing. Any
Mhm.
kind of inventory that's present at the site or any obvious missing piece of equipment or artifacts that can later be connected through anything law enforcement can tell us might give us some insight. So perhaps maybe we should take 2 separate vehicles.
definitely.
Cover more ground.
Yeah, I'll happily go with Hades to check out the green box. If Lake Fox, you can go talk to law enforcement, and then
Jockey, you can
Sure.
probably go with Hades and East. Because we don't know what's in the green box, and there might be a lot there inventory-wise, so
Mm-hmm.
it might be
And
quicker.
there's the task of actually finding which one it is first.
Exactly.
But I feel whenever we do eventually find it, it will reveal a lot of what's hidden here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with Hades and East then, if that's the plan.
And then May and Lake.
Sounds good.
We're gonna need transportation.
Okay, a couple of questions. Where are you going to stay? This is a room with a single bed in it. It was just meant for you to receive a package.
I definitely we should set up a motel accommodations in Meadowbrook.
One of us could bring a head or something, set something up. I'm sure.
And
somewhere cheap, but we're staying for a long time would
Low-key.
not be suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you all to do luck rolls. Do we have luck in this game?
You
Yeah.
do. You
Yeah,
roll,
it's
and it's
50.
either under. If it's under 50% or under, it's a pass. Over 50%, it's a fail.
Yeah, it's just a coin flip every time, basically.
21.
I got a 12.
I failed.
I got an 08, which in this game is
Just
nothing.
good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. If you
That's a fail.
passed, you rented a car under an alias to drive here. If you failed, you took an Uber.
Who has
So-
cars? I don't.
Sounds like
I
we
have
got
a
3
car.
cars.
I don't either.
Okay, well, this works out perfectly. Hades and Jockey will come with me, and we'll drive out to the storage facility.
I guess me and Lake, we just drive separate cars, so we don't.
Extra convenient.
It also means we can maybe keep a little distance and just extra caution. I know we're going together, but we could think about that.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, the storage. I'm gonna call the storage facility.
All right. Um, the phone, it seems to have been tampered with in such a way that you cannot call out on it except those 3 numbers. So you can't use it for anything but that.
Is
You
there a
call the
payphone
number.
nearby?
Well, it
Well,
probably is. I mean, you can use it. For
I
that.
can still call this place. I just can't call anywhere else other than the friendlies.
And you don't
Right.
know whether somebody can call you on it, but it's possible that A cell could call you on it, or B cell. All right, you call the Meadowbrook, and they basically tell you that they're open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That you can get into the facility if you have a code up until 10 p.m.
Okay, that's what
But you
I
have
want
to
know.
have a
It's not a
code.
it's not a 24-hour kind of place. By the time we get there, we don't have a code unless the code was provided to us somewhere on the package. But
I might be able to get the gate open still.
so,
If I
but
could
then
get to the
but then
device.
we're stuck there trying to find what.
And there are security cameras.
Yeah, and we don't know exactly where we're going, so we have to kind of finagle the front desk.
Maybe what we do first is we secure somewhere to stay, set up a base operations.
Yeah.
Rather than-
Can I
Yeah, the
ask?
clock
Can I
it's
ask you a
getting late,
question,
so
Tom?
Sure.
As what exactly can I do with signal intelligence skill?
Signal intelligence is exactly what you're thinking: code breaking, communications. Setting
I can
up.
hack into security systems,
Possibly,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't necessarily. Yeah, I mean, within you might be able to do something, but you might not want to do it because you might get caught.
Yeah.
Just
Okay. I was just double checking if I was understanding correctly.
I would say everyone remember that this isn't our normal job, so we need to keep everything under wraps. We need to be careful. Make sure especially if you go there, start messing around with anything. Wear gloves, something. Don't
of
leave
course.
fingerprints. Don't.
Of course.
Of course, we can't do that tonight, and maybe showing at the police station so late. It's also not the.
No.
I was just thinking that.
Little
So
so we can find a place to stay, but if there's any kind of well, everything we want to do is all going to be closed.
And there's also no time limit on this. There's no, do this immediately. It's urgent.
Yeah. Okay. So since we have a little bit more, so we have to plan out tomorrow anyway. Perhaps as we have 3 vehicles. Okay,
Correct.
one vehicle will go to the police station, try to look for information. Another one will go to the storage unit to look into the green box. But the third vehicle can go and start looking into public records about the Spooner House, news reports, any local things we can gather about the sale of the property, its previous ownership, what it was, it's at a hotel, the history of the business, when it went out of business, etc.
maybe then, if we settle that up, maybe Jockey can do that. I don't know. Or anyone who feels more suited for that.
Sorry, what is it you were saying about setting up?
So checking with law enforcement about the details of the suicide, going to the green box, and looking up records and any possible news reports anywhere where the Spooner House is mentioned.
I was also
Local
thinking,
library,
what's our story going to be, Fox, tomorrow to get information from the law enforcement? We're going to have to present some sort of identification, and preferably, obviously we're not going to use our real ones, so Do you have some sort of fake ID, or would that be something we have to set up by tomorrow?
I may have, due to my profession, may have come across. I don't know. Fake IDs, I might have some that we could use.
I assume we all have some.
Well, more
We all have fake IDs
Fe-
for our alias,
well-
do we not?
federal, anyway.
My
Right,
guess
something that
also
passed
is that
inspection.
I don't know if this is correct or not, but SIG signal intelligence might be able to forge IDs as well.
Yeah.
You might know how to make it look like.
That might be a specialty. Might be able to help you with that
Well, yeah,
if need
and
be.
me and Lake, well, I assume Lake might have a clue of what they actually look like. That might help you get a better
I
understanding.
think I've
of them.
probably seen more than a few federal IDs before, but
You gotta be
yes, that would
careful,
be.
bro, 'cause- But yeah, we can if we set that up. If we set
So
up
for this
base
evening,
operation-
then secure accommodation. Once we get that set up, we could maybe start with something simple. Seeing it's quite late, we could just go and survey the Spooner residence from a distance. Start with something simple.
A drive-by without shooting at it.
maybe, but I don't know. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe one of us could. I don't know.
Well, I would be
just gonna
surprised.
drive
I mean,
past
there
it.
would be no reason for the local police to be keeping the place under surveillance. The
Right.
suicide happened weeks ago. It's probably no longer an active crime scene at this point.
Problem is,
Yeah.
without going in, we might not even get a. It's probably just a normal house from the outside. We might not even get anything from driving by. But if someone wants to, I don't see.
It can't hurt to. I mean, if we haven't got any other more urgent plans apart from securing accommodation, it can't
Yeah.
hurt just to go and have a look.
On top of that, we can get Hades making some fake IDs for everyone.
Agent
Okay.
East do an intelligence roll. Are the intelligence rolls in this game?
Idea rolls, sure, why not?
Yeah, intelligence. Yeah.
I got a 57 out of 65,
Yeah, Agent East.
so I
did you?
believe that.
Oh, I passed.
Okay.
Okay.
It does occur to you that Agent Donnelly was FBI. So if FBI agents were investigating, nobody would really think about that, would they?
Right.
Yeah, as long as we pose as federal agents with the FBI,
You just
we
have to be careful.
Yeah, don't push things. But
Do
No
have to
breaking and entering, of course.
especially if, let's say, someone was current FBI, you'd have to be.
Some agents
Sorry, I
don't have
thought you
very
asked
good
me for a
poker
roll.
faces. All right.
Fox, you don't seem to be so enthused with that idea.
Oh, it's risky, especially looking at the. Let's say we all go as FBI. Let's say we all pose as FBI. Hades, I don't know if he would pull it off. It's
Well,
just one of-
okay, Fox, if that's such a concern, look, we can just make one ID for Lake,
and then
you can
one-
accompany me, and we'll go look at property records tomorrow while Hades and Jockey go to the storage facility.
yeah, it might be best because obviously it could be a risk. But okay.
Well, I think your nervousness about the situation would pose the most risk. Well, let's get driving, shall we?
All right. Takes you about 45 minutes, and you are in Meadowbrook. It's a suburb, just like any other suburb. How do you find a place to stay? Do you want to? I don't think we have smartphones yet.
Phone
but-
book, maybe.
Yeah. You can still use the phone book, or you could just drive around until you see.
I was gonna say when we're coming in on the highway or the freeway, kind of close to when you're entering town, I'm sure there's like some like
Holiday Inn,
Inn, or
Ramada. Yeah.
Local diners might have little post-its on a corkboard as well.
Yeah. So we'll say that you stay at the Ramada Inn. It's relatively nice, and it's kind of in the middle of Meadowbrook. And for those of you who haven't been to a place like Chicago, Chicago's a major city, and a place like Meadowbrook is just houses and a few little, stores and restaurants and things like that. But it's like all city. It's just city for 400 miles in all directions.
Urban sprawl.
It's urban sprawl. So you've never left the city. Meadowbrook is just part of the Chicago area.
Suburb.
There are streetlights, of course, and it's quiet and it's dark, and it's very calm. No bright lights or neons flashing. It's just a little sleepy area at nighttime. It's probably about 9 o'clock by the time you get into the area. And you settle into the day's end. Do you want one room or two rooms with an adjoining?
2
or 3 rooms, or how do you want to do it?
2.
I think 2.
Right.
Yeah, 2 sounds good.
We'll say you get 2 rooms with an adjoining. That's got a large enough room that you can lay out materials and figure things out and stuff like that. All right, so we'll say it's now about 10 p.m. When you've gotten all that settled. What do you want to do?
Do they have like a little computer space that guests can use?
They do.
Okay.
They have a little internet area inside the.
Well, let's go print off directions for MapQuest.
I kind of wanted to just go research the house on the internet and just see what I find.
All right.
I don't know what you guys think about that. There might be just information on the internet.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
That's as good a place to start as any.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you run off on there, and you have to, as I recall, you have to put money in the thing for an hour to.
Really? Was that okay?
Yeah, I think it was like that back then.
The old
and I'll make
style
sure-
internet cafe.
Yeah. I'll make sure to use incognito mode if they had that back then.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Do a luck roll.
Okay. No, I got a 70.
Okay.
You said it's 50, right? So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, 50 or better. So you sit there for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and the most you can find on MapQuest is the location of the house and the area. It's not far from where you guys are staying, but there's no information on it. Your guess is that in this area, probably you'll have to go to county records to find that kind of information. It just has never been put into the computer. For a little.
Can I find anything more about, like, anyone more articles or anything about the suicide? Anything more revealing?
You do. You find a couple more references to it in the newspaper, but they don't say anything more than the original one did. They might
Okay,
mention
so
it, maybe in one. Well, you didn't pass your luck, so no. Yeah, they don't say anything more than that.
No new information. Okay.
All right, what are the rest of you doing while he's doing that?
Agent Fox composes himself because he's been very nervous, especially at the mention of FBI forging FBI documents. But
And
Just
Agent
calm
East is
down.
spending his time like staring at Agent Fox
Right.
quizzically, like,
Right,
I've gotten with the wrong bunch of people for this opera. No, I'm
Well,
very
I'm-
concerned.
I'm fine. No, I will go. I'll feel more comfortable going with Lake tomorrow. So that's where
Okay.
I feel more comfortable with.
Rest of you
You-
can
you-
order a pizza
Or
if you want and go to bed.
You would like
And then-
you would like you're planning on going with Lake tomorrow, Fox?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Did we agree to go and have a look at the house just from the
Yeah,
outside tonight?
I'll go with you, Jockey. Let's go look at the house.
Okay.
Sounds good. Shotgun.
Hades is doing something
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll
on
go
the
with you as well.
computer, and
I'm not doing anything until
well,
tomorrow.
I'm gonna
Hades
order
needs
a
to make you a
pizza
fake
then,
ID,
and
doesn't he?
Yeah, he can take a picture, and then I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Fox, it sounds like you're staying there and ordering a pizza.
Yeah, I'm waiting
when
for
they get back.
Hades to do mine and Lake's IDs.
Lake, East, and Jockey, you hop in the car and you drive just a couple of blocks or so. You turn a corner onto Spooner Street. You can tell. Let's see. Any of you? What would you have for architecture? Or I'd say you probably just sort of recognize these are homes that were probably built close to the turn of the century. They're old buildings. Little cottages. None of them look exactly like any of the others, so to speak. They all have big yards and usually old growth trees in front of them, and driveways. As you drive by, you get to 1206 Spooner Street. All I've got is a daytime picture, but it looks like this. It looks absolutely unimportant and nondescript. It is all the lights are off. There are no porch lights on.
Okay, what about neighbors?
Yeah, there are neighbors on either side. Most of them have porch lights on, but the lights inside are out because it's like 10:30 at this point.
And no, is there anything like beware of dog signs, security,
Nothing like
system
that.
cameras? Okay.
There are neighbors on either side of them. There are neighbors across the street. There are neighbors on the street behind them. It's all just like a grid of houses. It's in the middle of it. And no activity there at all. There's a street light, maybe one house over, that sort of halfway illuminates the street. But it's fairly dark.
What do you think? Shall we get out and have a quick scout about?
Well, I don't see why not.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll. If we find a parking space, I'll say about going around the perimeter. Nothing suspicious, like just on like a nearby sidewalk. So I can almost to see if there's like a big back garden or anything like that, just to get a general feel of the place.
Okay. You park on the street. There are no sidewalks. The grass goes right to the asphalt or to the curb. But you can park in front. There's an asphalt driveway and a garage on the right-hand side of the house. You get the impression that maybe the garage was added at a later time, probably because people didn't have garages when the house was originally built. You can walk directly to the back, but do a luck roll.
No, that's a fail.
Okay. As you are walking in that direction, you can hear a neighbor's dog suddenly start to bark. It is, like I said, 10:30 at night, and you think that maybe you cracked a stick or something, and it's obviously not coming at you. It's probably tied up or something, but it's noticed the noise and it started to bark. You can kind of glance into the backyard. There's nothing much there. It's there's a back fence, and then there's another house on the other side of it. The house looks really kind of blah. There's It's nothing even particularly nice about the shape of it or anything. It's old fashioned. You can see that there is a what people in those kind of neighborhoods call a bonus room, which is it's sort of a second story. It's a room above the garage, but that's it. It's not a second. It's not a 2-story house. There's probably an internal staircase somewhere that leads up to the bonus room.
Is there anything like a realtor sign, like for sale, or is it like
There is not.
Is it? I mean, it doesn't look inhabited. The reports didn't say it was, right? Like
It does not look inhabited at the moment. No.
Okay, so things are overgrown. Nobody's really.
There's no mail in the mailbox.
Yeah, nobody really cares about this property. It looks like
the grass looks like it hasn't been watered in a bit.
Okay. It's very interesting that then any bank that closed on any mortgages, on the like, are not trying to sell this place. Although I guess with the recent suicide, it's much harder to do so. But
that's true. Well, Agent Dees, unless there's anything else you're looking to do, I think we've got everything we came here for, just to have a look and get a feel for the place.
Where's that dog barking from?
Probably next door neighbor's backyard.
Okay. Well, just in case anything is strange with this house and we need to make a quick exit, let's not hop that fence, shall we?
Yeah. Good thinking.
But all right. We'll go back.
The light comes on at the neighbors.
Oh, we're going.
You see the inside light come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I think as soon as the dog started barking, we just gave each other the look. So.
Time to go.
All right.
And I'm not like speeding away, which is
right.
Is whatever.
All right. So you get back in the car, and by the time you get back, the pizza delivery guy is delivering the pizza, and Agent Hades has returned from the computer completely without any information.
Well, I tried searching on the internet for information, but I couldn't find anything of use, unfortunately.
Well, it looks like whoever ordered this pizza couldn't find anything better than vegetable pizza. Why would you do that?
Oh, God.
It's not vegetable pizza. It's got meat on it.
Definitely a pineapple on there.
There's pineapple. There's ham and pineapple on here. I like my ham and pineapple.
Oh, it's
what, you got one Supreme and one Hawaiian. All right.
Well, we didn't. Nothing particularly sticks out about the house, chaps. Got a warning from a dog, but apart from that, did you get up to anything?
I've started my pizza.
Oh, I mean, there was a crushed up can of Diet Coke that I saw kind of in the grass, but I don't think that has anything to do with the situation.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Could be a sign.
Maybe but
have you gotten started on those IDs yet, Hades, or?
I can get on that now if you want.
Maybe after we have some pizza, sure.
Okay.
Sorry, question for the GM. Do we not already have IDs for our alias?
You do. You probably have a couple of different IDs.
All right. Okay.
We want an FBI. Do we have any? Does anybody have an FBI one? Though is the question.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I understand you now.
Can I do a look roll to see if one of mine may? Yeah, because that might save some time.
I could go as a fake FWS agent, but that doesn't make sense here.
Okay, that's a 39.
Okay, so one of the fake IDs you has is a FBI ID.
So we just need one, Hades. Yeah, we just need one.
One? Okay.
One cool. FBI ID, yeah.
Should I make a roll for that? No?
Well, no. I mean, you know how to do it, but it's going to take you probably a day. You know, you've got to get the right materials, and you've got to get it laminated, and you've got to get all that other stuff to make it look real. You don't carry a machine around in your pocket. But there's always Kinkos.
See, take your time with that. We don't have a time limit on this. if we have to stretch it out a few days, like it's not a big issue, I don't think. As long as we just keep in mind what we've got to achieve and we get to it.
Well, we could have a reasonably early night tonight and then get up fresh, start in the morning, get down to the storage place. And maybe some of us could go and, if we get those documents forged, we could go and interview some of the neighbors.
It's a good idea.
Well, I could do that anyway, I guess, because I have mine. So I could do that.
Yeah, I guess the two of us could interview people, and you just flash your badge while we wait for mine to go talk to the real cops.
Yeah.
Or to the actual cops, you know. Yeah.
We can.
Well, I can just spend the next while working on that if you want.
Okay. It's
Sure,
going on
that's
11
just-
o'clock now, so you probably
Sure.
want to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on that tomorrow.
First thing in the morning.
All right. So the next morning comes. You guys have had a good night's sleep. There's probably continental breakfast in the front where you can get, some Danishes and coffee and stuff like that. Pull yourselves
And I
together.
think these are supposed to be eggs, but I'm not entirely sure.
Do they have those like cheap waffle maker machines?
Yeah,
I'm
why
a
not?
waffle girl, so yeah, there we go. Yeah.
That's right. We all have to remember that Agent Lake's a woman.
It seemed that
Oh,
the character idea, yes. she is a female.
All right. So what would you like to do this morning? How do you want to split the party?
Well, my original plans that I had devised for splitting the party, it's a little hindered by the fact that Lake came so unprepared without a fake FBI ID. Everybody should travel with one of those, of course.
Okay.
So that kind of is tying up Hades at the minute, and Lake and Fox can't go to the police station until that is done. So, and with Hades working on that,
Well,
I still think
that's
doing research into the house is a good thing to do today, as well as the we leave a vehicle here for Hades, so he can go pick up whatever he needs to get that done, and then I can take Jockey or I can take either Fox, Lake, or Jockey with me to go research into the house, and then the other two, whoever doesn't go with me, can go with the other and to the green box.
Yeah, and then once we have the IDs, it'll be more convenient then, because if we come across a wise ass neighbor when we go to Spooner Street, they might ask for both IDs, and if Lake didn't have one,
I
they
could
might
be a
get little bit
consultant, so
suspicious.
Well, we don't even have to be FBI for that.
No, true.
that's what I mean. Is yeah.
Hi, we're realtors here looking for property in the neighborhood.
True.
I have some questions about the unknown. We'll find out who owns the house at the minute, but
Do you reckon it is repossessed by the bank?
yeah, we don't have to be FBI for everything that we do here.
Mhm.
We can figure that out. Obviously, we want to get this research and then go to the green box.
Well,
So
Yeah.
Who wants to go to a storage facility, and who wants to come do some reading?
I ain't too good with that book stuff, boss. So I guess I'll go to the storage facility.
Sure, I'll go with you, and then we can we'll switch up the pairs.
All right,
then-
Fox, you're with me then.
and we get to do some lovely light reading.
Someone staying with me, or am I just on my own to do what I need to do?
You were
You're
on
on
your
your
own, so
I work better that
Thanks.
way.
Don't burn the place down.
You've still got a few crusts left in that pizza box. I'll keep you going.
I'll be fine. I can get something if I need.
So to recap then, East and Fox are going to look up some stuff about the property, and then me and Lake are going to the storage depot.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Can I make? Would it take me the same amount of time to make more than one ID? If I get all the materials, then because that'll probably be the most time consuming.
Right.
Or-
My guess is that, you would be able to make multiple IDs. You won't be able to make them any faster, but you don't have to compound the amount of time. You could
Okay.
make 3 of them at the same time if you wanted.
If anyone else wants one, I'm going to make one for one of my aliases for as a agent for the Treasury Department. That should be very interesting to open some doors if needed.
Well,
Does anyone else want something?
not interested in IDs, but since we're now going out and doing things, 2 blocks away from here, around the corner, there's a Denny's. If anything goes wrong,
Pennies. Okay.
that's where we go.
Okay.
The
That is
the
where
sign
everybody.
always.
That's where if everybody has to scatter. That's the emergency meetup point.
All right. I don't know, that sign gives me the heebie-jeebies, but all right.
Who has the phone?
I still do.
Okay, you have the phone. Just wanted to establish that so that you know.
So when the phone kills me and everybody else has to run to the Denny's, like I just barely said.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Okay, so we've got the people going to the storage facility and people going to the neighborhood.
Well, we're
Correct?
looking at property records first. But
Oh, you're going to look at proper. Okay, you want to go to the county seat,
yes.
which is not too far. Once again, most things are within a few miles of everything in Meadowbrook. All right, let's start with the storage facility. All right, you drive down and you find the storage facility, and it's fairly large. You realize that it is a 2-story structure. So you've got storage rooms on the bottom and internal storage places on top. Hundreds of them. There is a gate all the way around the facility. You can see that there are security cameras, and there's one little place where you can park and get in and talk to the people. And there is a keypad to open up the big gate so that you could drive in theoretically, but you need to know the code. So you're parking your car. What would you like to do?
What's our approach here, Lake?
I'm not sure. I say we could use one of our aliases, make up a reason that we're looking for this person's storage unit. See if they'll give us the name, but we'd have to try to be persuasive. Otherwise, I feel like we're gonna have to figure out this number ourselves, going through other things.
Yeah, if HQ still hasn't got the number or the location figured, it will probably be just as difficult for us. I guess there's no harm in going in and just asking questions. So maybe lead with, what do you lead with? Because this green room has been abandoned for quite a while now. So how do you even lead with that? They've probably got many storage containers that just haven't been used in years.
Well, I suppose this is a question also for the handler. Was this something that Arthur Donnelly took out, or was this something somebody else established?
No, it's been there for a while.
Oh, okay.
It's the last contact the last use that they know of was 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have the details on it. They do not know if what's his name had any use of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would kind of complicates things.
So
they're telling you about it mainly because there's probably stuff in there that you guys could use.
Yeah.
Right.
The matter of actually finding it, though, I'm just trying to think of what we can lead with. It wouldn't be would it be normal, or would we know if it's normal that they would, when they have the key code for their storage unit, they would have it stored under their name? So, for example, go ahead.
It's a good question. What they would have done is, once again, it would have been under a alias, and it would have been set up so that Delta Green ultimately pays for it if it's like a monthly or a yearly payment, that they would simply maintain it. And theoretically, then the Delta Green would say, hey, the green box is here. This is the unit and this is the code. But they didn't have that info. So,
well, just like us, it's probably very likely that Donnelly wasn't his only alias, but we could go in and lead with that and ask.
We could also. I wonder how many storage units haven't been accessed in 7 years. Do you think they would have those kind of records? We could come in saying that our senile grandmother had passed away and she hasn't used her unit in 7 years and told us to go get it but couldn't remember the number. We could try that. I don't know.
Yeah. You've got away with words, Lake, so I'll let you lead with it. I'm just a strong guy here.
Let's see here. I mean, yeah, I guess we could try to talk to. Let's see here. Oh, I guess we could. I don't know if this isn't really an antiquity, but we could see about. There's the friendly Elizabeth Tucker. She's a special acquisitions, an antique tracker. I don't know. We could see if she knows anything about it, but I'm not sure.
Plus, the phone is with East at the minute.
Phone's with East, yeah. So we'd have to call East and have him call.
Yeah. There's no harm in going and asking questions. So how about we go in and we'll lead with we're looking for Arthur Donnelly. Any records held under Arthur Donnelly. If that doesn't turn up anything, we'll ask them if they're allowed to give us records of storage units that haven't been used within the past 7 years.
Okay, so why don't you go in and ask about Donnelly, and then I'll wait in case we need to try the other angle and ask about storage units that haven't been used in 7 years.
Okay. Guess we walk up to the place then.
Okay. You go inside, and there's a man sitting behind the counter, fiddling with something, and he looks up and he says, "Hey, folks, what can I do for you?" You can see that his name tag says Brian.
Morning, Brian. Sorry to disturb you. I've got a bit of a pickle here for you, and I'm wondering if you can help me out.
Sure.
One of our late friends, I was wanting to see if you have any records for storage kept here for an Arthur Donnelly.
Arthur Donnelly, let me check and see. He pulls out like a ledger book, thing like that, and he goes down the list. Donnelly. No, I don't see anybody named Donnelly on our list.
Okay.
Do you know what unit number he had?
No, we don't know the unit number either, unfortunately. We're sort of looking for a needle in a haystack. It might have... do you have any particular ones that haven't been touched in the past 7 years? Very odd question, I know.
Well, no, we'd be out of business if we weren't selling these things. They're, you're talking about empty ones? I mean, we've got empty ones if you need to rent something.
Mm-hmm. So normally speaking, people would be coming back quite often to pick up their...
Well, I mean, there's people that have stuff stored and they don't pick it up for years. As long as they're paid up, they're fine. Donnelly, that name sounds really familiar. Was there something recently in the newspaper?
Yes, so unfortunately he was a good friend of ours. He passed away, and
he's the FBI guy who killed himself. That was in the newspaper.
Look down at the floor.
Are you saying he had a thing? Well, I don't see any record of him here.
Mm-hmm. What about? Could you try looking for a Garrett?
Let me check that. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
So that guy had a box here. What do you think? Why do you think he killed himself?
We don't know. Sometimes it just is the people that you least suspect. Some people just are very good at hiding their demons. Look, tell you what, we'll go back and see if we can find any more information that will help us get along with this. But otherwise, I'm sorry for disturbing you.
Okay, well, if you can find out which box he's got, then I don't know. There's some legal stuff that we'd have to go through. Now, if he hasn't paid, in a number of months, then it reverts.
Yeah.
The contents become our property.
Okay. Well, look, Brian, you've been loads of help. I really appreciate it. You'll probably be hearing from us again soon. So until then.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a card or anything? You don't.
We don't have a card. Sure, we don't.
All right. All right. Well, have a nice day.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. So you get back in your car and you drive away. All right. Let's jump to Agent East. Who was with you at the
Fox.
Okay, Agent East and Agent Fox. You drive into downtown, and there is a 2-story building. It's kind of fancy for a little place like this. Almost gives you the feeling like of an old bank. It's all marble and pillars and things like that. It says county seat on it. You step inside, and you can tell that most of the building is in the back, and there's just a little reception area in the front. And sitting at the reception area is a fairly young man who's sitting there behind the counter. Looks like he might be writing something or fiddling with something. He looks up and sees you walk in, and he looks really surprised, like, holy shit, somebody's actually come in here. And he goes, hi, can I help you?
Yes, you can. We've come to look at some property records.
Okay. His name tag says Bart. He says, property records. Well, we got property records, lots and lots and lots of them. So the whole building is full of them.
Oh, that's well, I'm glad. That's kind of why we came here, Bart.
Yep.
Says I got to admit, nobody ever comes in here. I mean, it's Meadowbrook.
Yeah, not so great, but always looking for quality investments. Just have a couple of properties I'm interested in. Want to see look into the current ownership.
Yeah. Well, you're looking for a couple of properties. Well, I'll tell you right now that I'm normally pretty busy, but there's we don't have any fancy computer records or anything like that, so we got to search. Hopefully you don't have too much. What are you looking for? What property?
Well,
he pulls out like a little piece of paper to write it on.
I like to specialize in problematic sales, if you will.
Oh.
Helps you get properties on the cheap, and you could clean up the reputation a bit, clean up the house a bit, and then you can sell it for a pretty markup. I heard there was a recent unfortunate incident at a home on Spooner Street, some kind of suicide that I think is tragic, but I think it's a good candidate. Turn it into a good benefit to the neighborhood again.
Well, people do kill themselves, I guess. It happens all the time.
Unfortunate.
So what's the address?
I'll give him the address.
Okay, 120. It's
12 like
1209, 1206,
1201 something. 1206 Spooner Street.
1206 Spooner Street, the Spooner Avenue.
I mean, I'm surprised that how much I enjoy writing addresses down in my notes.
Well, what information are you looking for?
Current owners,
Current
records
owner?
of sales.
Well, I mean, the more you ask for, the longer it'll take. I can probably find the current owner records fairly quick.
Well, Bart, you don't seem like you have much to do, and I got time, so as much as you can find.
Yeah, and and he looks over and he says the coffee machine's broken, so not much to do. Tell you what, have a seat there, and I'll see what I can come up with. Hopefully you don't start asking me for old records. You don't have all the
Tom, when
old
was it
records
built?
here. What's that? 1907. Anyways, he goes, all right, give me a few minutes. Have a seat. It'll take me a while. There's boxes and boxes and filing cabinets and shit. He doesn't say shit. And he turns around and he walks in there. There's literally nothing in this room except a couple of wooden chairs for you guys to sit in and his little desk. If you peek, you can see that he was doing a crossword puzzle. Takes him about 15 minutes and he comes back out and he says, well, I've got the current records. 1206 Spooner. The owner is a Mr. Arthur Donnelly. And he purchased this. Hold on just a moment. He purchased the house on August 15th, 2004, last year.
How very interesting.
And I've got I do have a blueprint if you want to see what the house looks like.
Oh, that would be excellent.
That'd help us. Quaint little place.
I'm going to put it in the chat bar.
Oh, that'd be nice for you to. That's a nice little place for you to renovate up east and get to a good spick and span.
Oh yeah, of course. Great.
Now, a lot of these places have some pretty shady pasts.
Well, as I said, that's what we what's special. What do you know about this place?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you've got the time, we can have a look in the back and see what we can find on the house.
Yeah, we have time.
That's we're in absolutely no rush. And now, I think 12 down is phosphorus.
What's that?
The crossword puzzle.
Oh,
12 down is phosphorus.
Oh, phosphorus. I never would have thought of that. And he's like, I'll tell you what, we can spend some time working on this, but you guys think maybe you can get us some coffee?
Oh, yeah, some coffee would be great. Where's a good place? Where would you recommend?
There's a Starbucks just down the street.
Oh, Starbucks. Oh, okay. I see. Classic kind of not like a local kind of person, but the chain. That's kind of what gets it going. What do you like from like from Starbucks there, Bart?
Coffee mocha, venti.
Venti coffee mocha. Okay. And Aaron, you know what I usually get, so if you could go do that for us, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, yes. I'll get myself some Diet Coke as well.
Diet Coke.
That's right. I forgot you don't really like coffee. Oh well.
No.
More for us then, eh, Bart?
I'm more of a tea guy, but Diet Coke will do. So I'll go off and get some.
All right. So you run off to do that. Give me just a moment. I'm looking for that PDF. Where did I put it?
Oh, as I'm leaving. Also, psychology is the last one that you'll need on your crossword. Psychology.
Oh, what is that one? What, 31 across?
You tell me. I only had a quick glance. And I wander off.
There we go. All right. I put it in the chat so that you guys have the Spooner house layout.
Excellent.
Thank you. Use later. All right. So you were at the county seat and you get your coffee and you start working. You go in the back, and it's literally like pre-World War II cabinets and stuff like that. He tells you that he's got records going back almost to 1940, but before that, all of those records have been archived and they've been put in another building down in the basement. Nobody ever goes there.
I will tell you one thing, Bart. I feel at home here. Jesus, this techno stuff, not really my cup of tea, but files, all these files, filing cabinets.
The things that are your cup of tea are like files, Diet Coke, actual tea.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to say it this way. You start finding a few records, and when they do, they intrigue you, and you end up finding more records. And you find that you spend all day here. So it's going to be afternoon, quite a ways, maybe 4 o'clock by the time you're done, and he's closing at 5. But you will come out with a list of all the previous owners and why they left the house. You can read some of those and look.
Okay, 2005, Arthur Donnelly, suicide, 1 dead. 2002 to 2004, Yamila Izari, suicide, 1 dead. 1999 to 2002, Andrea Falcone, accident, 1 dead. 1994 to 1999, Amanda Braintree and family, suicide, 1 dead. 1989 to 1993, Louis Tycraft, suicide, 1 dead. 1984 through 1988, John Tyler, accident, 1 dead. 1982, 1983, Jason and Annie Eichen, gas leak, 1 dead. 1981, 1981, Gareth Catos, accident, 1 dead. 1975, 1981, Peter Diaz, suicide, 1 dead. This is a fire, 1970, 1974, Thomas and Imogen Greenlee and family, 2 died there. 1970, there was a Dr. George Weaver, MD. He died in an accident. 96, 69, Jonathan Reese, suicide. 62, 65, Adam and Rebecca Truer and family. They had an accident with a death. 1960, 62, Michael Daughtery, accident, 1 dead. 1956, 1959, George and Marge Crease, murder-suicide. And then previous to 1956, it was Michael Wheeler and family, and they unknown.
Yeah,
that's a lot of suicide and death.
Wow, this is definitely something we can.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Bart.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
It was nice spending the day with you.
That's okay.
Well, good luck with the remainder of that crossword.
Yeah, you know the last 2 words anyway now, so.
Well, come back anytime. And you leave and you head back. Now that's late afternoon when you're heading back. So let's jump to the others. What have you guys been doing during the day when those 2 have been off doing their stuff?
I think we said whenever we don't know how long the IDs have taken. I guess we would have went back to check on Hades, see how he's getting on with those IDs.
He's working on them. They have to be pretty meticulously made so that they don't look, I mean, they're going to be fake. So if anybody actually tries to research them, they might get in, you guys might get in trouble, but they don't have barcodes or anything like that yet. So you're kind of safe.
Okay.
But since the other 2 are gone all day, after you guys have gotten back, the 3 of you are all back together, what are you going to do?
Well, Hades, how are you getting on with those IDs?
Yeah.
It's going good. It's just a meticulous process, but
Understood. Well, we sure appreciate that. Unfortunately, we didn't have much luck at the storage unit so far. We're gonna have to get some more information. Maybe come back. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe we, like you said, we asking about Garrett, but that didn't work. So perhaps maybe he gave like Garrett Green or Arthur Garrett or Arthur Green, but sounds like there weren't any records that fit that. So,
Well, it would have been Delta Green that set up the box, right? Not necessarily.
We're not
Garrett.
sure, right? That's it. Obviously, there's that isn't a person, right? The conspiracy isn't a person. So somebody set that up. We just don't know if it was him or not. So. It seems that it's been, I assume that because the news hasn't told us anything, then I assume that it's been paid for. So if somebody set up a payment system.
Well, I assume that Green has been paying for it. And they wouldn't stop just because Agent Garrett is dead. They'll continue to pay for the box. Could we contact... I don't know. I was thinking we could call A-Cell and see if they know the last agent that accessed the box.
I don't think they do, because they would have told us. It seems that when we talked to when we got the debrief, it seemed they didn't know. On that note, though, I think we might actually try. We could always try Tucker, Elizabeth Tucker. She is a special acquisitions. Maybe she might know or be able to figure out a way to get that number out of this facility.
Is she one of the contacts?
Yes,
that we have?
She's a friendly.
Right.
Well, it said Green are still working on finding the which storage unit the green room is in. But whenever East gets back, we can try phoning Elizabeth.
Yeah.
See if that brings us any luck.
I
feel like we're just gonna go ahead.
I could hack the code if need be. It's a little risky, but might be able to go in late at night, take out the security, and just get in. But it does carry risks, so I don't know.
Well, you have to go through their records first to find out what number it is. But even then, you'd be looking through records and you wouldn't know what you'd be looking for. That's the issue here. Is that you'd just be looking? Haystack. Yeah, you'd be looking for what's a unit that nobody's opened in 7 years, and then that's almost, it's easier to look for the ones that have. So you'd have to sort of eliminate them.
Yeah, that's true.
Whenever I feel like whenever we get those documents sorted, we'll have a lot more sway whenever we talk to people. Even with the neighbor the other night and the barking dog, we could lead with sorry we disturbed last night, and then neighbors are probably going to know the first-hand accounts of what actually happened there.
Yeah, well, I'll just keep working on these badges. I'm making one for myself for one of my aliases, but it's going to be for an agent for the Treasury Department, which might be
excellent,
decent, interesting. So,
well, unless you have anything else you can think of, we could just wait for the East and Fox to get back.
Yeah.
Agent Jockey, do an idea roll.
Awesome.
Appreciated.
Let me see. I think that's a pass. Just bear with me. Yes, that's a pass.
Okay. As you're sitting there thinking about it, if Delta Green was paying for the unit, then they would probably have a record and know which unit they were paying for. If Delta Green had lost track of the unit and stopped paying, then the contents of the unit would eventually fall into the hands of Brian, the guy who's running the place, which would be possibly disastrous. Okay. On the other hand, if Donnelly had been paying for it, then that will happen when the paying for it runs out, probably next month. but you have once again you have no idea which unit it is or anything like that. Also do a human roll, human intelligence roll.
Oh, I've only got 10 in that, but I'll try.
Oh, okay. Well, as he's discussing this with the others, you can also do a human intelligence roll.
I rolled a 100. That's a critical fail.
Okay. Or rather, Lake, you were there with him, right? So.
That's correct. Unfortunately, I got a 93, so
Okay. So
I also failed.
that's it.
Can I roll as well?
No, you weren't there, but.
Oh well, okay. Darn.
All right, so
I have really high.
that's where you are. You can't think of anything else to do, so you sit around all day. And eventually you start wondering where the others are. 4 o'clock rolls around and they pull up outside, get out and come inside, happily waving a piece of paper in their hands.
Well, fellas, how did you just get on?
Well, we had quite the day. Turns out pretty much every single owner of that house within the last 70 years have all had a death. They've all either died or had somebody living there died
No kidding.
before leaving. So there is something is definitely wrong.
Did you show us that paper?
Yeah, I'm showing it to you. When was the last mission?
Do you want to see it again?
When was the last operation that Agent Garrett went on? Is that 2002, if I remember?
Oh, are you asking me? It's the last. It was the last time that they heard from him.
Was 2002?
Yeah, 2003 was his last contact.
2003. So he was last heard 2003. Last heard from 2003. He buys the house late 2004, and now he's dead. Why did he buy it?
Perhaps he found out this history.
Yeah, maybe he saw that and then maybe he got intrigued and wanted to look into it more, and it'd be better if he bought it than just be observing it, because then someone else could buy it, and
Do we know anything about the owners that have the unknown status? The ones that didn't die?
So they were back in 1946.
Was it 46 or 66?
46.
56.
56.
Well,
56.
to be fair, we could safely presume they probably died in the house. If everyone else has seemingly died of some sort of way in the house ever since, it's safe to assume they died. Or at least
Well,
we can assume.
I think it's safe to assume something strange is going on, and the fact that their status is the only one that says unknown and not dead.
Well,
And after they left, everyone started dying.
Well,
That's
and I'm
probably
curious if we
due
can find old obituaries to find out exactly the nature of the suicides, if they all have a similar, they're all carried out in a similar way, if all the accidental deaths were similar.
yeah, that would definitely be a good start. But for going back, the problem with the 1956 is they might not have the records from there, so...
But they're archived. They're anything past beyond there is not in that building.
So we couldn't say.
They'd have death records, death certificates, things like that.
Yeah.
We could confirm that they're dead at least, or what happened.
Well, I don't doubt that these records are I'm not suspicious of these records, and I'm just curious as to how they all died. If there are similarities between them beyond just the deaths and the suicides. If there's a particular place where it happens. If there's a particular method that they choose every time.
I know that. Yeah.
That could be something
would
that
point more
you
to
guys
it being an anomaly that would concern Delta Green.
And that's the thing. If there's nothing, if they're all different or done differently, that's something off our mind. And knowing that, it might be able to help us learn more about this residence if, for example, they all died in similar ways or similar fashions or similar things.
And our friendlies,
Well-
sorry, last operation of our friendlies, the doctor,
Emil.
99,
was in 1999, and the Retrieval
2002.
Socialist with 2002.
Well, when I make you this badge, when Lake and Fox go to the police department, they could search police records and look into all those suicides, see exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
Well, they might not have. We might have. They'll have the latest one and maybe the one
They'll have
before.
records for quite a few of them, I
Further
think.
back.
Well, if they
Yeah.
can find, I would hope that those detectives have. I mean, it would correlate perhaps those case files anyway. So
It
in
also
getting
depends-
access to his case file, that other information might come up.
It
Who
depends on the
knows?
competency of the police department.
Well, I don't know about
The
you,
records
fellas,
should
but the
be
thing
there.
that sticks out, to me is the murder suicide. Now, the one thing we could do to sort of test the foundation of that theory is everything from the unknown passage backwards was obviously archived. So another option might be is to get permission to access the archives and see if there was a
I'm not
similar.
worried about going all the way back to the beginning. I am just this recent string. I mean, it's a marked phenomenon. It's been going on for decades now. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what more we have to learn from an archive other than a further string of these, or finding out, I guess, the exact precise year that it started.
Yeah.
Also,
But
I guess I was
unknown,
thinking-
So the unknown reason, I mean, they left the house for an unknown reason. It wasn't like because of a death. So they were the last ones who owned the place before this all started.
I still think it would be useful to find information on them and what
yeah, but we
that
might.
would be.
I don't
If
Tom
think.
we can.
was
Again,
the,
this is going back to the 50s.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
We don't
hang
have the
ourselves
resources
up.
between the five of us to track that down.
We don't want to get too hung up on certain strands, or we just won't get anywhere. But I do want to ask Jockey and Lake a question. How did your thing go with the green box?
Fruitless. We didn't really have much to go on. We went on the possibility of asking if he had it under the name of Garrett or Donnelly, which there wasn't. He said any storage that was left there for so many years, they would have just taken the contents to themselves. But I don't think that's what happened. I think that given the circumstances, I think that Donnelly has bought the house for himself and then personally took over paying for the green box. But until we find more solid proof, that's just a theory.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how the house itself and the green box are connected.
no, I don't think they're not connected. But it'd still be nice to get.
Well, and but the
access to
house
the
was a subject of an operation prior, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the grounds that they share the same trait of him being secretive, because he was obviously buying it out to keep things to himself.
When was that operation done?
I don't think the house has been part of an
Has it not been
investigation.
has it not been part of an operation before?
I think it was just investigated. I think.
Well, it was investigated.
I don't.
But when was it investigated by Delta Green?
I don't think that those investigations were about this house.
Yeah,
You're referring to the original message that you received, the green
Yes.
paper. It simply said that the house has been brought to their attention before, but has been deemed insignificant.
So they
Okay.
never actually investigated it.
Mm-hmm.
So another
And
thing
then they warned that maybe you should be a little careful.
Right. So it seems like he took it upon himself to do it because Delta Green did not.
See, if only we knew his other. If only we knew other aliases he went by, it'd make. Because he probably put the green box under a different alien.
Why did he get the green box? I'm still missing this idea of him
Okay.
and the green box.
if Delta Green was paying for the green box, they would know which number that they would know the number unit of the green box. Thus, Delta Green
And
is
the
not
code.
paying for the green box. If nobody's paying for the green box, we already would have had an issue because somebody would have already found it. So somebody is paying for the green box. We think it's Arthur Donnelly, otherwise it's somebody
But
else.
under a different
Yeah,
alias.
but so I
That's-
mean, what makes it Arthur Donnelly?
Who else?
Oh.
Who
else
else
would
would
it
it?
be?
That's
Yeah.
where any other agent in this area that we don't know about?
Oh, but we do have 2 contacts who might know a bit more.
And this was set up 7 years ago. This was in 1998. Was the last time this was used. They could have paid up front for years in cash or their own account. It will be under an alias. It won't be under their real name nor their agent name.
I still think it's a concern that if it was him paying for it and he's no longer going to be, that means that they would go in and take possession of whatever's in there. And we obviously don't want that to happen. So regardless, it's possible it's not him, but it is possible it was. So that would be a huge security problem if they go in there.
Maybe we need to get in contact with the 2 friends of Delta Green to maybe get a bit more from them. I don't know. Maybe they might be able to assist. Maybe they might know about
Assist in what way? We can ask them what agents they worked with previously, and that would give us a list of names to try.
Yeah, and they might know of any. They might have been involved, and they might know of a story. They might not know what was in it because obviously we're not told, but they might know of, and that might give us the name. I don't know.
And once again, the screen box. Our primary objective is to find out, what the hell happened to Donnelly and what's up with that house. The green box doesn't necessarily relate to that at the minute. If there is a problem with the house, then we do need something more powerful than we have ourselves, then the green box becomes more of a priority. But at the minute,
But
I'm not sure how much ever time
the
we should be
thing is
wasting
that
with it.
we shouldn't be wasting too much, but the green box could offer some more information. Because what if, hypothetically, if Donnelly was paying for it under a different alias, maybe he kept things there himself, personal.
Okay,
We know he's been working rogue.
if we find evidence of that, that's one thing.
Yeah.
At the minute, we're just wildly speculating. This is just, once again, I mean, this phone of contacts is just in case. They're not all necessarily related to this case. They are just in case we need them. ASIL has decided to tell us about it. They're not necessarily related. If they do become pertinent, we can contact them. But I'd be if the Delta Green agents told them about this green box in the storage facility, they have greatly overstepped. That's another problem. So I'd be surprised that the friendlies knew what the storage unit number was.
I think we should still talk to the friendlies because it seems he's been working rogue, so he might have consulted them about something about the house. So maybe they know what he's been working on.
Right. So I think our next steps here are tomorrow. Once you finish the IDs, and perhaps when the local police department is more open to visitors, we go in. Fox and I can go in and ask, and we can go as FBI agents or something like that, and try to get some records and see what they know about the house, what they didn't want to tell the paper. Perhaps some people can call up the friendlies if you'd like and see what they know. I'd be very careful about how you do that.
We're not contacting the friendlies. I don't see
Okay.
how the friendlies have anything to do with this.
All right then.
We need
like I said-
information on Donnelly, what happened to him, and then we're going inside that house.
But that's what I was gonna say. Is that eventually we have to go inside. So I think we
Oh,
should
yeah.
talk to the police, and then we're gonna have to go inside that house. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, me and Lake. And once we know what Donnelly is, that's one objective dealt with. We know what's happened to him, and then the house is our second concern. But I don't know. Well, I do know they are our primaries, but it's just best to keep the green box in the back of your heads at all times.
It's our tertiary objective because obviously we can't let that get in the public's hands either. But that's after the mission.
True.
I think the most important thing at the minute, in my opinion, is as soon as we have a means to go into law enforcement and figure out if we can access what what condition the bodies were in or what happened with them. And then after that, maybe interview some of the neighbors to give us a bit of a clearer picture of what happened. The one thing I was thinking is, so in the past 50 years, there's been 17 people that have lived in this house, 8 of which were suicides. So objective 2 of determining whether the house represents any threat, that's definitely hinting at some threat, in my opinion. 17 deaths in 50 years.
Until we can identify exactly what that is.
But it could all just be a coincidence.
That's right.
A very big coincidence, but it could just be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it'd be important to know what he was doing. Why did he buy the house? Obviously, he was working rogue, and Delta Green knows that. So I think it'd be important to know if he communicated with these friendlies, what they know about what he was doing. It might be important to know that.
But I mean, he wouldn't necessarily have contact with the friendlies either.
We could just simply ask if he did. We don't have to tell him anything more.
You know what I was thinking?
Then...
I don't. There's no reason to get the friendlies more involved. That just creates a risk. The more information you share, that just adds a risk to the operation that's not necessary.
I do agree. Maybe we just leave them. If they come up, we use them, and if they don't, we don't use them. Yeah,
you know what I was thinking, fellas? The guy at Brian at the storage place, he seemed awfully informed about who Donnelly was. He knew that he was FBI, and he knew that he committed suicide. And
it was in the papers, so we've learned that it's the newspapers.
Yeah. Well, he seemed rather. I don't know whether it was just me. I don't know whether Lake thought this as well. He seemed quite excited over it. And if we were talking about after a certain time, they get to keep the equipment, you know, he might be in possession of that right now without us even knowing.
The only other, the other possibilities, you get him distracted so long talking about that you flip through his records and find something that was paid up front for a long period of time.
We could do one up, because if you say he seemed a bit excited, he knew about the maybe he would speak to an FBI agent.
Yeah. That's why I was.
Did you get the impression that he was holding anything back from you? Maybe he wasn't telling you the truth.
I don't know. I just have a gut feeling. I'm not very good at reading people, but he did seem rather excited, especially when he mentioned, the FBI guy. He committed suicide, didn't he?
See,
it could just be me being paranoid, but I think at this point we might as well cover all our
it could
areas.
And, it could be a quick 10-minute thing, and only one of us needs to go. I could literally just go show my credentials, see what. Maybe before we go to the police station.
The problem is they already checked. He's not on record there.
No, but he might know. He might spill something if he sees.
What is he gonna spill? What do you hope to get from this guy?
Just something.
Well, if our suspicions are correct and he is planning on keeping these or selling these, if we have identification, we can at least put our money where our mouth is.
It's just worth looking at, because
we are here.
Risk in its own.
We are here to investigate 1206 Spooner Avenue and Donnelly.
Yes, we are.
The routes of investigation that we have that will provide us the most information towards that goal are going to the house and talking to the police. Afterwards, once we fulfilled our primary purpose here, then we can worry more about this extraneous situation with the green box. Unless it becomes more important, unless some new evidence comes to light, and that is a route of investigation to take. Right now, we are just wildly speculating, and it's not proving. I don't see a benefit to wasting more of our time with this storage unit for now.
I think at this point we should, maybe consider calling it in. Let Hades do some more work and then finish up. And tomorrow we can speak with the police and then plan to head into the house.
We'll say that Hades finishes up about 5 o'clock tonight
Okay.
after you guys have gotten on putting the final touches on
Sure.
the badges. How many did you make, Agent Hades?
You said I could make 3. Well, I made a treasury one for myself and an FBI one for Lake. No one else said they wanted one, so
Fox already
suppose
has
I could-
one. So
right. I suppose I could make myself an FBI badge under another alias name, so I could have a couple, treasury and FBI. That could be useful, I guess, just under different names. So sure, I guess I made all 3.
all right. So we got 3 of them that you can compose.
I will give one to Lake
Thank
under
you.
their alias name, their FBI badge.
Yes, it's
Um,
Jessica Bones.
Oh, fantastic! There you go.
Most people don't read comic books. Don't worry about it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
Exactly. There you go.
All right. So as you move into the late afternoon, what would you like to do next?
PlayStation, like we planned. PlayStation, neighbors. Now that we have a bit of, the ability to put our money where our mouth is, we have those
Wow.
badges to fall back on.
Do you want to do the PlayStation this now? It's late afternoon. Or
At 5
do it-
p.m.
Or do you want to do it early in the morning?
I feel
Well,
We
like
don't have to do it all immediately, but we agreed that interviewing the witnesses and the police are up there.
Early in the morning might be a bit more advantageous because some of the officers on might be a little bit more tired or whatever. Some of them might have been, or they might have just got on. So it might be more advantageous to go early in the morning to the police station.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think if we want somebody, like some of us can go to the police station, then others could go to the talk with people like in the neighborhood, and then we could all
Yeah.
meet up perhaps if
We've
we
got
need.
3 cars, remember, so we can split
Yeah.
up and do different things and cover
Oh,
more ground.
In theory, we could do the neighborhood tonight and talk to neighbors, and then police station and whatnot tomorrow morning. Early.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
She nods.
yeah. So how are we splitting the cars? Because I'll come to the neighborhood. I don't mind. I'll take a car.
You want to go to the house tonight?
Well, this afternoon we could speak to. Well, it's what 5? Maybe not.
5.
Neighbors will be home. It's after 5
Yeah.
o'clock.
And that, but some might be starting to eat at dinner. But it's
No, there's be no reason for us to be questioning them at the time.
no.
And under what context? Anybody
Yeah.
asking about Donnelly, they would have already been asked. Why are you asking me again? You know, the other people came by and asked questions already. But you can find that information in the case file of any testimonials.
You know, we
If we're going to go posing as realtors again and looking for
Yeah.
information about that property,
You could do
once
that.
again,
That'd
but
be
I mean, going
less
this
suspicious.
late,
realtors are
I mean,
this late.
that opens you up to 2 complaints. I mean, you already might upset people looking to buy a property with a recent death in it, but also at that time of night, it's going to get.
Let's just wait till tomorrow then.
Yeah, we just wait till the morning.
It's only 5 o'clock, is it not?
Yeah, it's only 5. It's not that late.
Most people work full-time jobs. I
Yeah,
don't
a lot
know.
of people
It's
probably
I don't
already
know,
got
like
home, yeah.
group decision, I guess.
Well, it's up to what you guys want.
Well, if you know an American that loves talking to a door-to-door person after 5 o'clock, let me know. I've yet to meet one.
If you
Alright,
give
so
I
them
reckon the
something, they
FBI
might-
has already interviewed them.
Whoever was doing the investigation, right? I mean, if we're going to go around asking a question about Donnelly's death, don't you think law enforcement would have done the same thing already?
Hmm.
most likely.
And if you're going to go to law enforcement and ask about what they know, and they tell you, they share their files, then you'll have records of who they talked to and what they said.
Everybody do an idea roll.
53 is good.
Yeah, I'm good as well.
I got a 4.
Ooh.
I
I
failed.
got a 14, so I passed as well.
In Delta Green, nobody really knows who A-Cell is, but you do know that they're probably part of the government, or at least they have their fingers in everybody's pies. Um, you are not aware of any FBI investigation previous to this, um, probably because A-Cell managed to cut it off, and that's why they sent you in, so that you wouldn't have other people poking their noses around this situation, because Garrett was an agent
Right.
of Delta
Yeah,
Green.
so FBI hasn't been looking into it, but law enforcement with a suicide on their hands might have already. So when we find out what the groundwork law enforcement's already done, then we can start playing FBI agent and asking questions.
So sounds like we're going to bed early so we can wake up early.
Well, I'm gonna go for a late night stroll, I think, but just to stretch my legs.
Yeah, I'm not going to bed yet. I'll join you.
Yes. Yeah, other than that, is everyone else?
I mean, gotta wait till tomorrow to do what I want to do.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm still up for going around the neighbors, but if we're gonna wait till the local law enforcement first, then I guess we'll wait till tomorrow.
And once again, I mean, at this time, it's
Yeah, it's all good. It's a group decision anyway. We're all part of a team.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go for my stroll and then I'll come back and get a sleep, probably get an early
So
night.
Fox and Agent Lake are going to go for a stroll.
We never see
And
them again.
Fox and
Oh,
Hades.
yeah. Fox and Hades are going to go for a stroll. The rest of you are
Is
going
there
to.
a bar we could walk to?
Yeah, there's probably a bar. Sure.
Want to grab a drink, Fox?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right. So the two of you walk over to a bar, or you're walking down the street, and the rest of you are going to go to sleep or watch some TV or whatever you want to do. All right. The two of you who are going for a walk, what are you going to do? You going to go to a bar?
Yeah, go to a bar.
I want to pay close attention to the local gossip from people inside the bar. Just listen.
Yeah, I'll join you in that. Yeah.
All right. Do a listen roll, both of you.
Oh,
Alertness.
boom! I got
Alertness,
an
yeah.
11.
Hey, a crit!
A critical.
Oh, I got a 7, but that's not as good as
That's not as good as an 11.
It's not as good as 11.
All right.
Not as good as 11.
So, Agent Fox, while you're sitting there at the table, you hear absolutely nothing of any interest whatsoever. And Agent Hades, with your critical success, you also hear absolutely nothing at all whatsoever. Unless you guys want to ask questions, you don't overhear anything. 3 weeks ago is ancient history, as far as most people.
Yeah. I don't really want to draw attention to us. So
we'll drink our drink.
Well, we can say though that you kind of pal around with some of the people in the bar, like people do when they go to bars.
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay. I'll blend in, which I've been trained to do.
All right. So unless you want to say anything or do anything, then eventually you walk back home, I assume.
Well, okay, if we are palling around with people, I might, after a few drinks, people get a bit over there anyway, so I might just be like, has anything like strange occurred at all? Anything out of the ordinary for this place?
That's the question you ask. Yeah. No, nothing's out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Like what?
Oh, like This place seems quite quaint, and it doesn't seem like people seem a bit happy around here. So, like a suicide or anything. So,
People are people everywhere. Suicide.
yeah, suicide.
It's a weird thing to ask people in a bar.
Yeah.
Hear about any good suicides lately? I don't know. Maybe there's
already
suicides.
drinks. He's not. Fox isn't good for drinking. He's already pretty much gone after 2, so that's why he's saying these right now.
All right. No, you don't get any response for anything like that.
That's fine. I didn't expect to. That was
Hades, do you have
what
any
I said.
ideas or?
I feel like Fox probably weirded out this person, whoever we're talking to. Who are
Yeah,
we talking to? Like the bartender or
Just a
Whoever.
whoever?
Yeah, you're talking to general people.
I say Hades would probably be talking to the bartender, and after a while of just, general chatter and, whatever, I would probably say, so did you hear about that FBI agent that committed suicide on Spooner or whatever a few weeks ago? Did you hear anything about that?
Do a luck roll.
Oof, okay.
And Fox is just blabbering away. Is that a bit too
Oh.
much to drink?
I got a 50. Does that count as
That
a success?
counts. That counts as a
Okay.
success.
Woo.
A couple of people at the bar have heard, they read that in the newspaper. Meadowbrook is not a huge area, so news in the Meadowbrook newspaper, people read it. Most of them have no more knowledge. They have a lot less knowledge than you have. They just read the newspaper article. But you passed your luck. So there's one guy at the end of the bar, an old guy. Looks like he's probably in his late 50s, early 60s, kind of raggedy. Looks like he drinks a lot. And he says, well, it's no wonder the Spooner house. He says, everybody knows the Spooner house is cursed.
Cursed?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing but bad things ever happen at that place. Most people avoid it.
Really? What do you know about it?
Well, everybody knows about it. It's ever since people were kids around here. That's the haunted house of the neighborhood. That's the place nobody wants to go near. People die. People kill themselves in that house. Yeah, it's bad news. Now he's really drunk as he's saying this too.
Don't worry, I'm also pretty drunk.
I just had a thought.
It's a bad house.
Bad house, huh?
It's a bad house. Bad house.
So how long has it had that reputation for?
As long as anyone can remember. It's always been a bad house. There's one in every neighborhood. And that's the one.
Have you ever been inside the house before?
Oh God, no.
Oh.
No, not even when they have open houses or anything like that. No. Not going to go anywhere near that place.
Interesting. Do you know anything else about the history of like when it was, who built it?
Nope.
Or who the last
Somebody
family?
buys it, somebody kills themselves. Somebody buys it, somebody kills themselves. Over and over and over again. Nope. Not going to go anywhere near that place. That's a bad house.
So why don't the locals tell them and people looking to buy it about that? Or they just not believe them? Or...
Why the fuck would we care? If they ask, people don't want to, I shouldn't even be talking about it because, just talking about it might poison me. I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
Hey,
really?
I think we should.
Okay.
Bad house.
Okay, Gideon. We'll get you back to I'll get you back to the car. Let's go.
I'll have just called you Apollo rather than Hades.
Well, Apollo is my alias, so you should call me that. Yes.
Don't call yourselves by your agent names in the
Yeah,
bar.
no, that's why
Yeah.
I quickly
Yeah.
changed it.
Yeah. Gideon, let's
All right.
go. Come on.
So you guys wander back outside and you're heading back.
I
the
stagger
apartment.
back. I
Okay.
stagger back.
I'll
All right,
help him.
so the two of you managed to get back. You were only gone for maybe an hour and a half.
I had 2 pints and I am, that's it.
All right. So anything more tonight or jump to the next day? All right.
I guess I'd come back and tell the others what the old guy told me. Spooky place.
Ooh,
They
wow.
don't talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
They don't talk about it, apparently, which is interesting.
I mean, do you have a house with that many suicides? And that's bound to happen. That still doesn't tell us much. It is interesting, though. It's
I
very
throw open
Just
a
telling you what I learned.
Fox.
I helped him walk back. Someone else can help him in the bathroom. I'm going to bed.
I hope I never go to another opera with you again. Just saying
You're
that
right.
upfront.
You're right there, Fox. You
I
drank
didn't
too
do
hard
anything.
there?
It's his fault. He drank too much. Got a little distracted by the booze.
Usually we do this after we finish a successful case. You know, that's the standard protocol. But you know,
Generally, after an operation, I plan to get the hell away from all of you.
well, that too. But
I mean,
yeah,
if
anyway.
you're going out drinking,
I-
this is the craziest bunch of Delta Green people I've ever met in my life. Going out celebrating together, getting drunk in the middle of an op.
I just sipped. I didn't get
drunk.
drunk.
I only drank because I didn't even plan on going to a bar. Hades here wanted to go, and I just went and I thought,
Let's
stick in.
let's get you to bed.
And
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
All right. So you all managed to go to sleep. Fox, you have kind of a restless night because you're drunk.
Yeah.
And drunk sometimes have restless sleep. But you all wake up in the morning. You have your continental breakfast. Exactly the same as yesterday. Unless you want to go to Denny's around the corner. They have pretty good breakfast. What would you like to do today?
So there's the police station, and then there's also talking to some of the neighbors. But I think we wanted to do police station first. Was the idea, or
police station, yeah.
So, Fox, you want to come with, or
Yeah. I'm fine. Just
you be all right this morning? You need some
I'll be fine.
sunglasses.
no, I'll be fine.
All
Are
right.
we all carpooling, or are we going to split, cover more ground? What are you
I
thinking?
think it would look funny to have 5 FBI agents pull up to a police station.
Yeah.
just.
Do
me
you
and,
want to
like,
come to Hades, or just have the two of us?
Just.
I think I might tag along and let you two do the talking and just kind of observe.
All right. Well, I'll go with Jockey. We'll go back to the house, ask some questions, maybe take a peek inside.
Hades, maybe you go with them too, because 3 FBI agents showing up, knowing protocol, 2 would show up, 1 maybe stay in the car, so maybe it'd be safer for you to go with Jockey and East.
In case they need someone with a badge too.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with them then. Maybe
Just
I
to
can
be
freak
on
out
the
some people and tell them they're behind on their taxes or something.
All right. Are you going to the police station as FBI?
I think that was the plan. Yeah.
Please tell me you have suits on.
I would have a suit. Fox only really wears like smart clothes anyway. So.
Okay. Do an idea roll before you go.
Idea. This is a terrible idea.
42.
Yeah.
Oh god, 99. I might be alcohol.
That is
cloud.
a critical fail. But somebody passed.
I got a 42. Yeah.
Well, it does occur to you that traditionally the police do not like the FBI interfering in their stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how else are we gonna?
You're also, police don't just say, "Oh, he's got a uniform on. He must be," you know, they're not stupid either. So I'm just saying that if you're going to do this, you need to be very careful.
Yeah, like if you say that to me, I'll also
Yeah.
bring up one thing. Knowing some things.
They're
Police
also going to know that you're here.
Yeah. Police like it that if they've invited FBI agents onto the case rather than the FBI.
But an
agents showing
FBI
up.
agent has been murdered.
So
Sorry, suicide. He was murdered, suicided.
yeah, but maybe if we can spin it so that we get invited by them, so we show up, but not
Call?
actors, and then
Call.
we make it so they're like, you can stay, we want your help, and we want that's
Perhaps we should call first. I don't know.
maybe
Maybe you just
Maybe
shouldn't
you
go
should-
as FBI at all.
Well, then how else are we? I mean, how else are we going to get the information that they're not going to give to the press?
like maybe
Something
you
more
call-
neutral might be.
I mean, I have a fish and wildlife alias that will pass as long as they don't look up Leia Winters, but because there is no Leia Winters, but I could go as that, but I don't. That doesn't make any sense for me to
The
be investigating.
The FBI would work, but we just have to be cautious.
They're gonna hate
Just
the FBI.
don't force your way in.
No, we
Okay.
need to make it so that they feel not threatened by us and will confide in us, which may mean that they might invite us to consult on something. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe
if
not
somebody
even-
from the field office sent you out to, just check, make sure everything is like, yes, you've ruled it, that's a suicide. You're just
You
doing
get-
you're there doing due diligence. You're not there doing an investigation.
yeah, we just
Okay.
don't want to step on their toes. That's
Right. So
You
we
get too
go
in depth.
Yeah, just don't frame it as so we can start investigating. Just you're there. You were
Right.
just there for FBI. You're just there doing a bit of due diligence, get eyes on
Yeah,
the
we're there to
situation,
do
see if
it.
it's something they need to be concerned about.
And why? Yeah, I guess why? And I guess we should just show up and then. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So while you were going to the police station, what are the rest of you doing?
We're going to the house.
Talk to some of the neighbors, maybe.
Okay. All right. I think in the time that we have left, let's do you guys going to the house if you're going to talk to the neighbors.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You arrive back in the neighborhood, same as always. Now you can see the house more clearly. It's painted kind of in a light blue. The yard is in somewhat of disrepair, although it doesn't look entirely like out of place in this neighborhood because a lot of the houses in the neighborhood seem to be in a bit of disrepair, and I wouldn't say they're run down. They're just not maintained. You don't see any young people mowing the lawns or anything like that. The lawns are all a little scraggly. All right. So for the sake of argument, we've got a house on left and house on right. And you've got the houses across the street or you've got the houses behind.
Well, let's just go left and right first.
Okay, which one?
Left.
Okay. Actually, I could just give you 204 Spooner Avenue. You go there. It's a house quite a bit different than the other Spooner house, but obviously built about the same time. And you go up and you knock on the door. An old woman. She looks like she's maybe in her 50s. She's not that old. I guess that's not that old. She looks like she's in about her 50s. She knocks on the door. I'm sorry. She looks like she's in her 60s. She answers the door. Yes. Can I help you?
Good morning, ma'am. I am Agent Michael Upton with the FBI. This is Agent Apollo and Agent Dory. We just have some questions about the death of your neighbor, Donnelly.
Do you have badges?
Sure do.
What do you want to know?
Well, we're just kind of a bit looking into the situation. Since he was an FBI agent, we just have to make sure that.
Well, I never spoke to him. That's not surprised that he killed himself. That's a bad place. It's got a bad reputation.
Oh, so yeah, do you have any visitors?
Well, I've lived here for 40 years, and there's been all sorts of tragedies in that house, one after the other. Visitors? No, I never saw any visitors.
Only him? No family with him? Just by himself?
Yeah. But that's all I know. I don't know anything else other than that. You do get the impression that she doesn't like talking about that house. Like,
And you didn't hear any strange noises or commotion over there at any point?
Nah, never, nothing like that. But I have in the past.
And how so?
Well, like gunshots.
Gunshots like last April?
Oh, no. Long time ago. There's been a lot of people kill themselves in that house.
You ever talk to any of the owners of the house?
Nah. It's a bad place.
Is it so? I mean, what is it? Just the tragedies there that makes it a bad place?
Bad luck. Bad. Yeah. Bad karma, if you want to use that term.
Well,
yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time.
All right. She closes the door.
2208, I'm assuming.
1208 Spooner Avenue. You meet Alfred and Juliet Uleski. He's 71, she's 69. They have both lived here for 50 years, since 1955, and they have a similar reaction. It's a bad place. They should just knock the damn thing down and burn it to the ground. People have tried.
People have tried to knock the house down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That Mr. Crease, way back when, he tried to burn the place down.
And what happened?
Well, somebody put the fire out.
He was just saying they should have let it burn.
Should let it burn. It's a bad place.
Did you ever talk to any of the owners?
No, not really. Yeah. I mean, sometimes when they first move in, they're kind of nice, but they're not nice later on. They disappear in that house, and they lose themselves.
Well, the most recent owner, Donnelly, did he have anybody with him in the house?
That's the FBI guy who killed himself?
Yeah.
No, there was nobody else there. I saw, though, when they brought his body out, they had him all covered up, but there was blood all over the sheet.
All over my side. He must have found some real creative way to do it then, eh?
It's a bad place.
The Craces that you mentioned, that was George Crace, you said, started the fire?
I think that was his name, yeah.
That would have been about 55, is that right? 1955?
That was, right after we moved in here.
Mm.
We thought, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into, moving into this kind of a neighborhood?
I know you said that you never really spoke to any of the residents, but out of the very limited interactions you've had with them, is there anything that sticks out?
I mean, I don't remember everything. I remember that doctor who moved in. he wasn't here more than 9 days before he killed himself.
9 days.
Yeah. That was back in the 70s. That was 1970. I remember that.
Well, do you know? Do any of your neighbors have a habit of like keeping an eye on the house? Anybody
Oh,
like
no.
watching it?
No. We try to avoid looking at the house.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for your time.
If I could build a wall, I'd build a wall.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, Alfred. Thank you.
You get very similar things from the other neighbors as
Yeah, I
well.
figured that's the only answer we're gonna get. Is the door locked for the house? 1206.
It is.
Okay. Hey, Hades.
Yes.
You know how to pick a lock?
I do have lock picks.
Oh, well, how about we go take a peek inside, eh?
All right.
I don't see lockpick as a skill though. Would it just be
It's a special
stake
training.
it?
It's a special training, actually.
Oh.
So if your character knows how to pick locks, you have special training lock picking. Basically, it uses dex.
All right. Do you want me to try to pick it, or maybe not in the middle of the day?
Well, it's a bad house, so let's just kick the door in. Nobody's gonna care.
I think we should probably try to be a little more subtle first.
Okay, well, we'll see if any windows are unlocked, back doors on. If that's unlocked, look for keys under mats. Like,
Yeah. I follow East's idea and go around the back and
I
check.
already established we're looking at stuff, so let's just go look at stuff.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're at the front door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do a it's not spot hidden. What is it?
Alertness.
Is it alertness? Spot hidden. Search.
It's search.
It's search.
Oh, search. Yes, you're right.
Oh my gosh, a 47 is not a pass for me. Close, but not enough.
On the
Pretty sure
dot, I have 40 and I rolled
I
a
got
40.
I got a 23 out of 50.
All right. Those of you who passed, you're standing there at the front door. There's not really any protection. So as you're standing there, people could see you. It's not like you're in an alcove or anything hiding there. But the two of you who passed, you're looking at the paint, and you think that the paint on the outside of the house, at least this front here, is fairly fresh, because you can see something sort of bleeding through the paint.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Well, that's unsettling.
Well, I hate the breaks to you, Hades, but I think Jesus has nothing to do with this writing. That's interesting.
It looks like a stain, as if it was on there and they tried to paint over it or wash it off. And that's where we're going to leave it for the evening, for this episode.
Excellent.
All right.
Very good.
Our players included John Dos Passos, Aaron Denamer, Morgan Llewellyn, Mark Anthony, and Josh Harwood, with myself as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our members. You can set up private games and learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. There's a link below. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Riley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and other dark role-playing games. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.